So, titignan natin dito yung mga video ng GPWS modes from mode 1 to mode 7. Okay? So, ito yung video nung videos na andun sa Google Classroom na pinost ko kasi alam ko hindi nyo mapapanood yung videos na mga yun. So, ito yung laman ng mga video. Which mode 1 is the excessive sync rate mode. Okay, so yan ang mode 1 po. Nandiyan naman sa PTT yung mismong details ng mode 1. So ipapakita ko lang dito is yung mismong video ng mismong mode 1 natin o kung paano ba gumagana itong si sync rate.
Mode 1 alerts flight crews to excessive rates of descent when the aircraft is near terrain. Using radar altitude and rate of descent information, the ground proximity warning computer monitors the flight profile when an aircraft is within 2,500 feet of terrain. Should an excessive rate of descent develop for the aircraft's current altitude above ground level, the red Gpws warning lamp will illuminate and the voice alert sync rate will be heard.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
If the rate of descent continues or worsens, a continuous pull-up voice warning will be heard.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
As the aircraft recovers from the excessive rate of descent, the red GPWS warning lamp will extinguish and the voice warning will cease.
Okay, so sabi dyan sa video is meron siyang dalawang voice warning. Tama? For the first warning is ang warning niya ay sync rate. Sync rate. Okay? Then meron siyang dun sa ating module, dun sa GPWS module, dun sa P7 o tatawag natin na glare shield. Dun sa may bandang panel ng autopilot, sa may harap ng mga piloto. Dun po nakalagay yung GPS module natin, GPWS module. Okay? At magkakaroon po dun ng red warning light. Okay? If the situation worsens, yung voice warning niya na una is pull out, mag-change into a pull up. Okay, so yung first na voice warning niya is sync rate. Pangalawa is pull up. So ibig sabihin, ang ating mode 1 is meron siyang dalawang voice warning. GPWS mode 2 or the excessive terrain closure rate. Ito po yung pangalan nila ha. Ito po yung nasa taas-taas yan. Ito po yung mga pangalan ng mga yan. Okay, so tignan naman natin yung video ng GPWS mode.
Mode 2 warns flight crews of excessive closure rates with rapidly rising terrain. Using airspeed, rate of descent, and radar altitude, GPWS compares terrain below the aircraft to the flight path. If terrain rises significantly within 2,000 feet of the aircraft, a closure rate is measured. When the closure rate shows danger to the aircraft, the red GPWS warning lamp will illuminate, and the voice alert terrain will be heard. If the closure rate continues or worsens, the voice call-out will change to a continuous pull-up warning until terrain is no longer a threat.
Terrain. Pull up.
To help ensure sufficient recovery, the red GPWS warning lamp will remain illuminated until the aircraft climbs 300 feet above the altitude where the last pull-up voice warning was heard.
Okay, so dyan sa mode 2, meron din siyang dalawang voice warning. First na voice warning niya is terrain, and if nag-worsen is ang magiging second voice warning niya is pull up. Okay? Tapos to ensure, sabi din dyan sa video, is to ensure the safety of the flight is kailangan bago mamatay yung red warning light ng GPWS is kailangan mo nang umakyat ng eroplano ng 300 feet more. Diba? Dun sa higher after the first voice warning was heard. So for example, is narinig mo yung first na voice warning in a altitude of 3,000 feet. Okay? So tapos umakyat ka ng konti and nawala yung voice warning, naka-remain on pa rin po yung GPWS warning light natin hanggat sa umakyat ka ng 3,300 feet. Diba? Kasi sabi dyan, kailangan umakyat ka muna ng mag-add ka ng altitude of 300 feet para mawala yung warning light ng GPWS module. Mode 3. Mode 3 is the altitude loss after takeoff. Okay, yan po ang pangalan ng ating mode 3. Ito po siya, ayan. Altitude loss after takeoff. So, tignan po natin yung video.
Mode 3 warns flight crews of inadvertent descents and loss of altitude after takeoff or during a missed approach. Gpws recognizes a takeoff or missed approach using aircraft speed, radar altitude, barometric altitude, and aircraft configuration changes. Gpws then monitors radar altitude and barometric altitude during the initial climb-out. Should the aircraft descend, Gpws compares any loss of baro altitude to peak altitude gained. When this difference is roughly 10%, the red Gpws warning lamp will illuminate and the voice alert "Don't sink" will be heard.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
When a positive rate of climb is
sink.
re-established, the red Gpws warning lamp will extinguish and the voice alert will cease. Once the aircraft has attained 1,000 feet above ground, Mode 3 is disabled. When Gpws again detects a takeoff or missed approach situation, Mode 3 protection is automatically re-enabled.
So ayan, yan naman po ang video ng Mode 3. So meron lang siyang isang voice warning which is don't sink, don't sink. Okay? And sabi dyan sa video is after takeoff, pag naka-gain na ng altitude yung aeroplane natin of 1,000 feet, yung mode 3 po natin is automatically daw siyang mag-turn off. Okay? And if na naman po na nagkaroon po tayo ng misapproach, ang mode 3 natin is automatically mag-turn on po ulit. During landing na po yun ha, if ever po. Okay, so next. Yan na, so dito sa picture na to, kung mapapansin nyo is nandito yung sinasabi natin na GPWS warning light. Ayan po siya ito, GPWS. Okay, ito. Itong GS na sa baba is your glide slope. Okay, ito iilaw din naman to doon sa isang mode ng ating GPWS. Okay, so yan. Next. Ito naman is for your mode 4. Itong video na to is for your mode 4.
Mode 4 provides minimum terrain clearance protection in all phases of flight. Gpws will alert the flight crew to insufficient terrain clearance based on airspeed, altitude, rate of descent, and aircraft configuration. Mode 4 protection is especially valuable when the aircraft is on a normal flight path, where excessive descents or closure with terrain are not a factor. To understand the scope of Mode 4 alerts, let's follow a typical flight from takeoff to touchdown. As shown a few moments ago, Mode 3 protection is automatically enabled as the takeoff occurs. At the same time, Mode 4 begins to build a floor below the aircraft during climb-out. This floor will continue to build under the aircraft until reaching roughly 800 feet above ground, where it will remain throughout the flight until the aircraft begins initial approach at the destination. If the aircraft penetrates this floor during the flight, the red GPWS warning lamp will illuminate and the voice alert "Too low terrain" will be heard.
Too low terrain. Too low terrain.
Once the aircraft is safely back above the protective floor, the red warning lamp will extinguish and the voice alert will cease. During the approach and landing, GPWS monitors airspeed and aircraft configuration. The minimum terrain clearance floor is automatically adjusted as airspeed is decreased. If landing gear is not down and locked at 500 feet above ground, the red GPWS warning lamp will illuminate and the voice alert "Too low gear" will be heard.
Too low, gear. Too low, gear.
If flaps are not set to landing configuration by 170 to 250 feet, the red GPWS warning lamp will illuminate and the voice alert "Too low, flaps" will be heard.
Too low, flaps. Too low, flaps.
Pilots may elect to disable the flap alerts by engaging the flap override function either prior to or during a flap alert enunciation. This allows landings in configurations other than normal landing flaps with no GPWS flap alert.
Okay, so yan yung ating mode 4. Okay, so ang sabi dyan is pag wala sa tamang configurations yung ating flaps and ang ating landing gear is magkakaroon po siya ng video ng oral call out o voice warning. Okay, andyan sa binigay ko na PowerPoint yung fit kung kailan magkakaroon ng warning yung ating mode 4 if ever nasa maling configuration yung flaps and landing gear. Okay, next. Mode 5 or the below glide slope mode. Okay, so tingnan natin ang kanyang. Dito na po, kung mapansin nyo, pag glide slope na po, pag mode 5 na po ang nag-click, hindi po itong GPWS yung iilaw. Okay? Kundi itong GS po na to. Itong GS po na warning light po ang iilaw natin, hindi po itong GPWS. Doon sa past modes, si mode 1, 2, 3, and 4, ang umiilaw doon is ito po, si GPWS. Ngayon, for the below glide slope or the mode 5, is ito po, si glide slope. Okay? Para malaman nyo kung ano tong glide slope na to, is punta kayo doon sa PowerPoint ng ILS. Andun po yun, yung Instrument Landing System. Instrument Landing System has 3 subsystems, which are glide slope, localizer, and your marker beacon. Andyan po yan, okay? So, tignan po ninyo. So, ito yung video ng Mode 5.
Mode 5 provides protection for inadvertent descent below a glide slope while on an ILS approach. GPWS monitors the flight path in relation to the glide slope centerline while on the ILS final approach course. The Mode 5 glide slope alert is enabled when a nav receiver is tuned to an ILS frequency and receiving a glide slope signal, landing gear is down, and radar altitude is less than 1,000 feet. Should the aircraft descend below the glide slope to a 1.3 dot fly-up indication, the amber GPWS glide slope alert lamp will illuminate, and the voice message "glide slope" will be heard.
Glide slope.
Glide slope voice messages are initially softer and less frequent than other GPWS alerts and warnings, but become louder and more frequent as the aircraft deviation below glide slope worsens.
Glide slope.
Once a correction is made by the pilot and the aircraft is returning to the glide slope centerline, the amber glide slope alert lamp will extinguish and the glide slope voice alert will cease. To allow repositioning below glide slope when visual conditions are achieved, or on localizer-only approaches, pilots may elect to disable the Mode 5 glide slope alert function. This is done by depressing the amber glide slope alert lamp or switch either prior to or during a glide slope alert enunciation.
Okay. So sabi dyan sa ating video is pwede daw po natin tawag nito, i-bypass no yung tawag nito yung yung warning nung mode 5 GPWS mode 5 na by clicking the bypass button ng GPWS. Okay? So, if ever po, during emergency, is kailangan nating i-land yung eroplano ng mas mabilisan is kahit kahit po magkakaroon po tayo dyan ng Gpws na warning, pag emergency naman po is pwede po nating i-bypass yung call out ng Gpws mode 5. Okay, in prior po lang po yun if ever po na meron po siyang emergency. But for normal operations is wag pong gagawin. Hindi po ginagawa ng mga piloto yun. Okay? So yan. Mode 6 tayo. So mode 6 or the RA callouts bank angle na mode. Okay? So dito sa Gpws mode 6, ang ating eroplano is meron siyang mga maximum na bank angling, no? Meron siyang dapat, if ever, let's say for example, itong design ng eroplano to is pwede lang siyang mag-bank of 45 degrees or 30 degrees para hindi mag-roll, para hindi umikot, no? Yung eroplano mo, or hindi mag-skid or slide. Okay? So dito, different structures of aircraft or different styles or designs of aircraft has different bank angle na maximum bank angle. Okay, so hindi po sila pare-pareho. Okay, pag iba-iba yung design, iba-iba din ang kanilang maximum bank angle. Depende po 'yun sa structure ng eroplano natin. Okay, so tingnan natin ang kanyang video.
Mode 6 contains altitude and bank angle callout functions designed to increase situational awareness for the flight crew. These callouts are selected by the customer when Gpws is initially installed in the aircraft. The decision height minimums callout is a function of radar altitude. The pilot sets the radar altitude bug or DH manually, and Gpws provides the callout minimums at the selected altitude on the approach to landing.
Minimums.
Altitude callouts can be chosen from a large menu of possible combinations.
500.
These callouts are provided to pilots as a means to confirm aircraft position during approach.
100.
These callouts are just an example of one altitude callout menu. Bank angle callouts are designed to alert flight crews to the possibility of overbanking, which may lead to serious flight path deviation or loss of control. These callouts occur at preset maximum limits tailored to the aircraft type.
Bank angle.
Near the ground, radar altitude is used to advance the bank angle alert, so callouts are given sooner, providing additional time for pilot corrective action.
Bank angle.
Okay, so yan ang ating mode 6. Sabi dyan sa video, during take-off, yung bank angling natin, yung maximum natin is nalilesen, no? Nalilesen natin yung tawag nito, yung tolerance ng ating bank angle. Kasi if ever po na nag-overbanking tayo during take-off, may tendency po na mag-stall yung ating eroplano at hindi siya makakuha ng lift niya. Okay? So, pwede siyang mag-stall. Pero during flight na naka-on cruise po yung ating eroplano, is babalik po yung tolerance natin in the normal set condition ng maximum bank angling ng ating eroplano. Okay? So next, mode 7 or ang mas kilala sa wind shear. Okay, itong mode 7 na to is connected po ito sa ating WXR or the weather radar. Okay? Next. So, tignan po natin ang kanyang video.
The Mark V and Mark VII GPWS offer detection and warning for encounters with wind shear up to 1,500 feet above ground. Gpws uses airspeed, radar altitude, barometric rate, angle of attack, air temperature, vertical and longitudinal acceleration, and aircraft-specific performance information to detect encounters with severe wind shear. When an aircraft first encounters the strong headwinds, decreasing tailwinds, and vertical updrafts associated with the outflow of microburst activity, the amber GPWS wind shear alert lamp will illuminate and remain on as long as the condition persists. Some installations will also enunciate the voice alert.
Caution, wind shear.
If the aircraft enters the area of microburst activity where headwinds rapidly decrease, tailwinds increase, and vertical downdrafts become severe, the red GPWS wind shear warning lamp will illuminate, a short two-tone siren will be heard, followed by the voice warning,
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
GPWS lamps and voice warnings will cease when the aircraft is no longer in the wind shear condition. Recovery should always continue to a safe altitude above terrain.
Okay, so yan ang ating mode 7. Sinasabi po niyan kung meron pa tayong wind shear dun sa ating during approach ng ating eroplano, or yes, during approach po ng eroplano. Okay, so Sir, ano ba tong wind shear? Tsaka ano ba tong crosswinds? Okay, wind shear is ito po yung hangin, no, na tumutulak sa ating eroplano pataas pa ulit, lalong-lalo pag nagtitend yung eroplano na mag-landing. So ibig sabihin, pag tinatend ng eroplano na mag-landing, yung thrust po natin, yung ating engine is naka idle speed or nakababa, no, binabahan natin yung power. So ibig sabihin, yung eroplano mo is pwedeng mailipad o pwedeng mahagip ng hangin na, no. Yung lakas ng hangin, pwede nang hagipin yung ating eroplano. So ito yung upward force o downward force ng ating hangin. Ang crosswind naman is nangyari naman dito. Ito naman yung tumutulak sa eroplano natin pa sideways. It's either in the left or right side of the aircraft. Kaya na yung imbis na tinatamaan ng piloto yung center line runway natin, ang nangyayari pag mayroon tayong crosswind, pinapalo ng hangin yung eroplano from either left or right. Yan po yung crosswind, no? Yun yung tumatama sa ating eroplano during landing. So yan po yung mga videos ng GPWS module. Okay, so hopefully is naintindihan nyo. Pwede nyo naman ulitin tong video para mas maintindihan ninyo. So yan po yung laman ng ating GPWS na mga videos.